Hello and welcome back to the Everyday English Podcast. I am Sarah, and I am so happy you are joining us today for another episode designed to help you live your life in English.
And I am Mark. Hello, everyone. It is great to be here. Today we have a very special episode planned. It is a deep dive, which means we are going to explore one topic in great detail. We want to help you solve a problem that every single language learner faces eventually.
That is right, Mark. We are talking about that terrifying moment when your mind goes completely blank. You know the feeling. You are in the middle of a sentence, you are telling a story, and suddenly you stop. You freeze. The specific word you need is just gone.
Oh, I know that feeling very well, Sarah. It is the worst feeling. Your hands start to sweat. You feel like everyone is looking at you. You start saying, and you just stare at the floor. It can be really embarrassing.
Exactly. It makes you feel like you don't know English, even though you do. But here is the secret we want to share today. Fluency is not about knowing every single word in the dictionary. Fluency is about what you do when you don't know a word.
That is such a good point. Native speakers forget words too, right?
We absolutely do. I forget words all the time. But the difference is that native speakers have strategies to keep talking. We do not stop, we do not freeze, we use a special set of tools to rescue the conversation.
And that is what we are building today. We are calling it the Blank Mind Rescue Kit. By the end of this hour, you will have 3 specific tools you can use to keep speaking English, even if you forget your vocabulary.
We are going to practice grammar in context, learn some useful phrases, and even play a game to test your listening skills. So get comfortable, maybe grab a cup of tea, and let's get started.
Mark, let's start with the first reaction most learners have. When they forget a word, they usually go silent.
Yes, the silence. It is the enemy of fluency. When you stop talking completely, it breaks the connection with the other person. They might think you have finished speaking, or they might feel awkward and want to leave the conversation.
So, the first tool in our rescue kit is called the stall.
The stall. To stall means to delay or to buy time. When you forget a word, you need to buy yourself a few extra seconds to think, but you cannot be silent. You need to use filler phrases.
These are natural phrases that tell the listener, I am still speaking. I just need a moment. Mark, what is a classic phrase you use when a word slips your mind?
I often say, oh, it's on the tip of my tongue.
That is a great one. It's on the tip of my tongue. This is an idiom. It means I know this word. I can almost feel it, but I can't say it right now.
Exactly. It's on the tip of my tongue. Another one I use is simply, what is the word I'm looking for?
Yes, that is actually a full sentence question. What is the word I'm looking for? You can say this out loud. It is completely natural. You do not have to whisper it to yourself. You can say to your friend, oh, what is the word I'm looking for?
It actually invites the other person to help you, which is nice. It makes the conversation a team effort.
Another simple one is, let me think, or let me see.
Right. So imagine I am telling you about my weekend, Mark. I went to what is the word I'm looking for? The place where you see old dinosaur bones.
And I would say, a museum.
Exactly. See how natural that was? I did not freeze. I did not look panic-stricken. I just used a stall phrase. I said, what is the word I'm looking for? So, listeners, your first step is to stop saying for 10 seconds. Instead, memorize one of these phrases. It's on the tip of my tongue, or I have completely blanked.
I have completely blanked. That is a good one too. It means my mind is empty. Use these phrases to keep the rhythm of the conversation going.
Now, buying time is useful, but eventually you need to communicate the idea. You cannot stall forever. That brings us to our second tool, and this is the most important one. We call it the describer.
The describer. This is where we get into some really useful grammar. If you don't know the name of an object, you can simply describe what it does or what it looks like. To do this, we use relative clauses.
Grammar alert. Don't worry, we will keep it simple. A relative clause is when we use words like who, which, or that to describe a noun.
Let's look at the structure. It is very simple. You say, it is the thing that, or it is the person who, or it is the place where.
This is a magic formula. If you forget the word umbrella, you don't stop. You say, oh, I forgot the word. It is the thing that you hold over your head when it is raining.
Perfect. You use the phrase, it is the thing that, and then you described the action. You hold it over your head. Anyone listening will know exactly what you mean.
Let's practice this structure because it is the engine of fluency. We generally use who for people and that or which for things. Mark, let's try a few. Imagine you forgot the word for dentist. How would you describe it using this structure?
Okay, I forgot the word dentist. I would say, it is the person who fixes your teeth.
Excellent. It is the person who fixes your teeth. Notice Mark used who because a dentist is a person. What if you forgot the word for kitchen?
I would say, it is the place where you cook dinner.
It is the place where. Perfect. Now sometimes we need to be a bit more specific. We can describe what something looks like or what it is made of. For example, if I forget the word for wallet, I could say, it is a small leather thing that you keep your money in.
Right, you are combining details. It is a small leather thing that you keep your money in. This is actually a great way to practice your English thinking skills. You are focusing on the function of the object.
Let's go a little deeper into this. Listeners, I want you to try this with us. I am going to think of a word and I will describe it. I want you to guess what word I am thinking of. Mark, you guess too.
I am ready.
Okay, I am at an office. I need to attach two pieces of paper together, but I forgot the name of the tool. So I say, Mark, do you have that thing? It is the small metal machine that pushes a piece of metal through paper to hold it together.
Oh, that is a stapler.
Yes, a stapler. But notice my description. I use the grammar, it is the small metal machine that pushes metal through paper. Even if my description was not perfect, you understood the function. Let's try another one. This time I will do it. Imagine I am in the kitchen. I want to make a smoothie, but I cannot remember the name of the machine. I say, Sarah, where is the machine which mixes fruit and yogurt together really fast?
That is a blender.
Exactly, a blender. I used which mixes fruit and yogurt. So the structure is, it is the category plus relative pronoun plus action or description. The category could be machine, tool, person, place, thing, or device.
This is a lifesaver, truly. If you can master this sentence structure, you can survive almost any situation in English. You never have to stop talking, you just have to describe.
But Sarah, there is a challenge here. Sometimes learners worry that their description sounds childish. They think, oh, I sound like a 5-year-old saying the thing that cuts paper instead of scissors.
That is a very common fear. But I want to tell you something important. Native speakers prefer a description over silence. If you go silent, we feel uncomfortable. If you say, please pass me the thing that cuts paper, we just hand you the scissors and the conversation continues. It does not sound childish. It sounds like you are communicating.
And actually, this brings us to an interesting point about English exams like IELTS or TOEFL. Many of our listeners are preparing for these tests. Do you know what examiners do when you forget a word?
This might surprise you. If you freeze and say nothing, you lose points for fluency. But if you use this strategy, if you use circumlocution, which is the fancy word for describing something in a circle, you can actually gain points.
Really? You gain points for not knowing the word?
Well, you gain points for being able to communicate despite not knowing the word. It shows you have a flexible command of the language. It shows you can solve problems in English. So do not be afraid to use this in an exam.
That is really encouraging. So we have the stall, buying time. We have the describer, using relative clauses. Now let's talk about our third tool in the rescue kit. We call this the generalizer.
The generalizer. This is when you use a broad category word or a synonym instead of the specific word.
English has so many specific words. For example, we have words like sprint, jog, dash, and gallop. But if you forget those, you can just use the general word run.
Exactly. If you forget the word poodle, just say dog. If you forget the word sedan, just say car.
This sounds simple, but under pressure, we often forget to do it. We get stuck looking for the perfect word. Let's say you want to say, the bill for the electricity was exorbitant. Exorbitant is a high-level word meaning very, very expensive. But suddenly, your mind goes blank. You lose the word exorbitant.
Don't stop. Just use a general synonym. You can say, the bill was really high, or the bill was too much.
Is it as poetic as exorbitant? No. But does it communicate the meaning? Yes, absolutely. This works for verbs too. If you forget the word whisper, which means to speak very quietly, what could you say?
You could simply say, he spoke quietly, or he said it softly.
Right. You are using a general verb, speak or say, and adding an adverb or adjective to modify it. This is the generalizer. You are making the language work for you, rather than being a slave to the vocabulary list.
So, let's review our 3 tools before we move on to our big listening practice. Tool number 1, the stall. Phrases like, it is on the tip of my tongue.
Tool number 2, the describer. Phrases like, it is the thing that, or it is the person who.
And tool number 3, the generalizer. Using simple words like big, small, good, bad, or thing when the specific word is gone.
Now, before we get to our practice game, I want to take a moment to ask you to subscribe to the Everyday English podcast if you are enjoying this. We create these episodes to be like a friend helping you along your journey. If you click the subscribe button, you will get our daily listening practice and more deep dives like this one right in your feed. It really helps us keep making these lessons for you.
Yes, please do join our community. We love reading your comments.
Okay, Mark, are you ready for a challenge?
I am always ready. What are we doing?
We are going to play a game. It is a bit like the board game Taboo. I have a list of 5 words here. I am going to describe them to you using our rescue kit tools. I cannot say the word itself. You have to guess what they are. And listeners, I want you to guess along with Mark. Try to say the word out loud before Mark does.
This sounds fun. It is great listening practice because you have to listen to the details to find the answer.
Exactly. Here we go. Word number 1. Okay, I am thinking of an object. It is usually found in the living room or a bedroom. It is a thing that looks like a box, but it is soft. You put your head on it when you sleep.
It is soft. You put your head on it. Is it a pillow?
Yes, it is a pillow. See, I used it is a thing that, and I described the location and the function. Okay, next one. This is a job. This is a person who works in a restaurant, but not the person who cooks the food. It is the person who brings the food to your table and takes your order.
Okay, listeners, did you get that? It is the person who brings the food. If it is a man, it is a waiter. If it is a woman, a waitress, or generally a server.
Correct, a waiter or server. I used it is the person who. Good. Number 3. This is an adjective. It describes a feeling. It is how you feel when you have been working hard all day and you have no energy left. It is a synonym for very, very tired.
A synonym for very tired. Is it exhausted?
Yes, exhausted. I used the generalizer strategy there. I explained the feeling using simple words to lead you to the complex word. Number 4. This is an object. It is a tool. It is the thing that you use to unlock a door. It is usually made of metal and small.
The thing used to unlock a door. That has to be a key.
Correct. It is a key. Okay, last one. This is a place. It is a place where you go to watch movies on a really big screen. You usually eat popcorn there.
The place where you watch movies. A cinema or a movie theater?
Yes, a cinema or movie theater. You see how easy that was?
It was very clear. And Sarah, notice that your descriptions were not complicated. You used simple grammar. It is a place where, it is a thing that. This is proof that you do not need complex structures to be effective.
Now, Mark, why don't you try a few? Let's test the listener's comprehension.
Okay, my turn. I will describe 5 things. Listeners, listen carefully. Number 1. This is a thing that you wear on your face. It is usually for people who cannot see very well. It helps them see better. It has 2 pieces of glass and a frame.
You wear it on your face, helps you see. Listeners, what do you think? It sounds like glasses.
That is right. Glasses or eyeglasses. Number 2. This is an animal. It is a very large animal. It is gray. It has big ears and a long nose that we call a trunk.
A long nose called a trunk. That is the key detail. It must be an elephant.
Correct, an elephant. Number 3. This is a verb, an action. It is what you do when you are in water. You move your arms and legs to move through the water. It is a sport and a hobby.
Movement in water. That is swimming, to swim.
Yes, to swim. Number 4. This is a thing found in a school or office. It is the thing that you use to remove pencil marks from paper. If you make a mistake, you use this to rub it out.
Oh, good one. In American English, we call this an eraser. In British English, sometimes it is called a rubber.
Exactly, an eraser. Last one, number 5. This is a season. It is the time of year when it gets cold and snow might fall. It comes after autumn and before spring.
The coldest season. That is winter.
You got it, winter.
That was a great workout for the brain. And listeners, think about what just happened. We spent about 5 or 10 minutes talking about 10 different words without just saying the words directly. We practiced relative clauses, we practiced vocabulary related to shapes, sizes, functions, and materials.
This is why we call it the rescue kit. It is not just about avoiding embarrassment. It is about keeping the English flowing. Every time you use a relative clause to describe a missing word, you are actually practicing high-level English construction. You are turning a mistake into a practice opportunity.
That is a wonderful way to look at it. You are turning a negative into a positive. Instead of feeling bad about forgetting, you can feel proud that you explained it. I want to address one more specific situation, Sarah. What happens if you describe the word and the other person still doesn't understand? That is a very real fear. You say, it is the thing that cuts paper, and the person looks at you with a confused face. In that case, you can use comparison. This is part of the Generalizer tool. You can say, it is like a, but. For example, if you are trying to describe a zucchini, that green vegetable, and you forget the name, you could say, it is a vegetable, it looks like a cucumber, but you cook it. Oh, that is brilliant. It looks like a cucumber, but you cook it. That is so clear. Comparisons are very powerful. It is like a car, but bigger, maybe a truck or a van. It is like a cat, but wild and huge, a tiger or lion. So add that to your toolkit. It is like X, but different detail. We have covered a lot of ground today. Let's do a quick recap of the entire strategy because repetition is key to learning. Step 1, do not panic. Do not freeze. Step 2, use a stall phrase. It is on the tip of my tongue. Let me think. What is the word? Step 3, use the describer. Use the grammar. It is the thing that. It is the person who. It is the place where. Step 4, if you need to, use the generalizer. Use a category word, animal, tool, vehicle, or a synonym, big, happy, run. Step 5, use comparison. It is like a, but. If you follow these steps, you will never be silent again. You will always have a way forward. And remember, the goal of communication is connection, not perfection. Your friends, your colleagues, the people you meet on your travels, they want to hear your stories. They want to know you. They do not care if you forget the word for stapler. They care that you kept talking to them.
Absolutely. Now we want to give you a small homework assignment. We love giving you things to do in your real life.
Yes, homework, but fun homework. Sometime today or tomorrow, look around your room. Pick 3 objects. Do not say their names. Instead, practice describing them out loud using the sentence structures we learned today. For example, look at your lamp and say, it is the thing that gives light. Look at your chair and say, "It is the thing that I sit on." It sounds simple, but saying it out loud trains your mouth and your brain to work together. If you do this with 3 objects a day, in a week you will be so much faster at constructing these sentences. And if you are feeling brave, write one of your descriptions in the comments section of this video. Describe an object without naming it, and let us and the other listeners guess what it is. It will be a fun game for our community.
I cannot wait to see what you all write. I will be in the comments guessing too.
Before we go, we also want to mention that this skill, circumlocution, is a stepping stone. Once you are comfortable describing words you forgot, you might find you want to improve how you end conversations too.
Yes, sometimes the problem isn't starting or continuing, but stopping. If you ever feel stuck in a conversation and don't know how to leave politely, we have a video for that coming up soon. So keep an eye out for our episode on the graceful exit.
But for today, focus on keeping that conversation going. You have the tools now. The rescue kit is yours.
Thank you so much for listening to this deep dive episode of the Everyday English Podcast. We hope you feel a little more confident and a little less afraid of the blank mind.
Keep practicing, keep listening, and remember, you are doing great. Learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint.
We will see you in the next episode.
Bye for now.